Welcome in the latest episode of the Betting the Pitch Soccer Podcast. I'm your host, the real underscore G Warner, across all social media platforms. Here is the most briefest, quickest, whatever we could do it, Champions League knockout round of 16, leg one episode. As unfortunately, Spectrum Internet was down last night, couldn't record before I went to bed. So now we're doing it before get in the car and enjoy ourselves at a full day of work. I'm sure people understand that. Hopefully they do. Hopefully we can find some winners on this episode. We're going to be going lickety split, go as fast as we can. We'll see if we make this happen. And hopefully you will all enjoy. You can find us on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify under Betting the Pitch. You can also find us on YouTube at the real underscore G Warner. Subscribers, comments, likes, 5-star reviews, all things really, really helpful. And I just want to make sure didn't forget to change the microphone because we are literally going as fast as we can. Let's change this mic. Let's get this in here. And it's time to start with our first matchup, which is after Galatasaray nearly choked away their advantage. Well, we're starting there with Galatasaray hosting Liverpool. I believe a Istanbul reason for why this game is being started at 11:45 Central, or excuse me, 12:45 Central Time, 1:45 Eastern Time. Thank you for the time change. Can we get rid of that? Also, so Galatasaray, three-quarter goal underdogs at home in this first leg. Again, just a common theme with Champions League and really all two-legged ties. First leg usually more conservative than the others. Galatasaray, three-quarter goal underdogs right now with more juice. Total is 3.25, juice very heavily to under. I'll just address two advanced numbers. Galatasaray 488 compared to minus 670 on Liverpool. Liverpool $670 to win 100. Galatasaray $100 when you 488. So Galatasaray with a big upset, you could say, over Juventus, but honestly, against 10 men, still needing to survive late was amazing. But Galatasaray had a really good first leg, deserved, I guess, their big lead. Got really fortunate from a ridiculous red card, but it would have been a second yellow anyway, and a lot of things to argue. Liverpool come in, I think, a lot more stable after a really, really poor start to their season, and I think just a lot of luck coming all to pass, and a lot of reversion to the mean. From my perspective, I don't think Liverpool is that great of a team. Honestly, Arne Slot, I think, is a great manager, great speaker, but that doesn't mean everything on the pitch. And I think Liverpool did a poor job in the offseason of building a team that couldn't defend. So now they play more solidly defensively. I feel like the total above 3 reflects a first leg that's going to be treated more conservatively, but we didn't really see that in goal scoring, certainly in the first leg when Juve came to Istanbul. I think at this point, I like the 3/4 of goal where I'm currently sitting. I think I'm more interested if it climbs to 1. I think we will get there, but we'll see what happens in this early matchup. Moving to the normal 3 p.m., 9 local time in Europe, Central European time, I believe. But 3 p.m. Central time, 4 p.m. Eastern time, so even a little bit an hour later than normal. Newcastle currently a pick'em at home to Barcelona. Total in this one is 3.5, and it's juiced more to the under slightly. And there's a lot of respect for Newcastle in this number, I got to say. Barca are forever treated as the best team in the world and have a huge fan base and a huge market that bets them every time. Two advanced numbers, Barcelona minus 265 to Newcastle plus 219. And I guess this is the battle of, or the seesaw of the English Premier League dominant money versus Barcelona being one of the most popular teams in the world. Barca's high line, really, really concerning. I think Newcastle also playing Manchester City this weekend in the FA Cup, plus playing really, really well at home over the years is probably my biggest interest here. I was expecting them to be a pretty significant underdog, so a lot of love for Newcastle. We'll see what the lineup looks like here. And Barcelona had a really big lead in La Liga and didn't really hold on to that very well, so we'll see what happens there. But Newcastle having to play an extra couple legs with Qarabag, dominant though they were, does make me wonder exactly where rest differentials are here, especially with Barca getting off in the or getting rest, better way to put it, in the first stage here. Moving next to Atalanta hosting Bayern Munchen as they get another German club. Atalanta currently 3/4 goal underdogs at home with a little bit more juice on Bayern. Total is 3.25 in this one. Juiced more to the under with the two advanced numbers at Atalanta plus 581 to Bayern Munchen minus 840. Atalanta's the side I like here. Really hard to play any sort of unders with Bayern, though I expect many more of them in Champions League versus the German Bundesliga. For me, I think Atalanta, I mean, they've proven it after a really ridiculous hiring of Ivan Juric to start the season. But new managers come in and done a lot better, and I think we'll see. I think some tests with Bayern, who started the year off perfectly, but then really struggled with some weird results in the German Bundesliga. You could argue that maybe that's motivation, but Borussia Dortmund really close behind them. So I don't know if you'd really put that down to that. Maybe it's a team that just can't be perfect and win every matchup. Atalanta are talented, not on the same level as Bayern though, and Bayern look like a really well-oiled machine. At +1, I'm interested. At 3/4 of a goal, I'm probably still waiting for something else after that. To the last matchup on Tuesday, we'll get you a nominee for the ultimate best bet. Atletico Madrid, they are 3/4 goal favorites at home to Tottenham. More juice on the home team. Total in this one is 2.5, and it's juiced more to the over slightly, which I guess is our first home favorite, actually, that we've discussed so far on this episode. Two advanced numbers, Atleti -235 to Tottenham currently +195. And I think there's some reason for that. Basically because Tottenham's fired a manager. I don't really know how the heck they got to this position where they got a bye in Champions League, but they found a way because they can't play in Premier League competitions. But I guess Champions League goes okay for them, or European, as they won Europa League to get there last year. I got very little interest in Tottenham. I think the biggest interest for me in this one is potentially seeing an under, just because Tottenham's going to go on the road and try to keep this as low scoring as possible, because they know that while they have a big budget, they have not really competed on the level of Atletico Madrid at all this season. We'll see what happens here, I guess. But for me, under 2.5 is the biggest interest, and I don't know that it's that strong. So for our best bet from the Tuesday action in the Champions League on this March 10th episode, recording live on the day of. Man, I think I'm going to go. It's really tempting. I'm going to go Newcastle, a pick'em at home to Barcelona. We'll move to the Wednesday matchups. We'll start with Bayer Leverkusen. They are hosting Arsenal in the early 12:45 Central Time start. Currently, Leverkusen, a 1-goal underdog at home with a little bit more juice. Total in this one is 2.5, juiced pretty heavily, or a little bit more to over, I guess. And this is a small total, but it certainly reflects the way Arsenal have been treated so far this season. Two advanced numbers currently Bayer Leverkusen +754, 100 wins you $754. Arsenal, you got to put up 1,200 to win that simple 100. Leverkusen have really just not been very good. They can't be, because they lost their manager, sold a ton of talent. But they've found a way to get to this level in the competition, made it through the knockout stage with a win in the first leg against Olympiacos, and then no goals in the second. I think we see a low-scoring game here, so I don't think that's a big shock for anybody, really. But for me, I think biggest interest at this point is seeing Arsenal dominate a game and see a low-scoring matchup, but 2.5 certainly lower than I made it, so I want to see this climb a little bit. I'm not sure we'll get much higher, but we'll see what happens. Next, we'll go to Real Madrid hosting Manchester City, as they seem to play in this competition every season. Real Madrid, a 0.5-goal underdog at home with all the juice. Total in this one is 3, just a little bit more to the under. A lot more drama facing Real Madrid so far this season. They are +230 to advance to a -285. Manchester City. Real Madrid is a home underdog, always interesting, and we'll see what their lineup looks like and how healthy Kylian Mbappe and such are. Vini Jr. still, I think, one of the best players in the world. If they can get him not fighting with the crowd, or, I mean, unfortunately, the racist chants seem to bother him quite a bit. But for me, I think Manchester City, they are an awkward favorite to me, because they've certainly been on more of a surge in English Premier League, but I don't know that I really believe in it so much. So the Real Madrid 0.5-goal underdog, to me, biggest interest in that first leg. Move next to Bodo Glimt, and they are hosting Sporting Lisboa. What a great draw for Bodo Glimt, considering what happened so far, already knocking out Inter Milan, which was crazy, but you could argue that the artificial turf shouldn't play into that. Well, here they are with artificial turf again in the first leg as the home team. They are hosting Sporting Lisboa, currently a pick'em right now, Bodo Glimt, with 2 more cents of juice to the Norwegians. Total in this one is 3, and it's juice more to the under. We've seen Bodo Glimt, they're a goal-scoring team. They really did a great job counterattacking with 2 wins against Inter Milan in that in the 2 legs of the round of 24, I guess, to get to this Sweet 16. I'm certainly very impressed with what Bodo Glimt has done. So is everybody, and I figured this number would probably be a little bit more respectful than it should be. I was hoping I would get Buda Glimt is an underdog, but clearly that didn't happen. At Pick'em, though, where you get a push on a win at home, very interested there, especially since I think Sporting Lisboa is one of the weaker teams left in this competition. Current two advanced numbers, Buda Glimt plus 195 to the minus 235 on Sporting Lisboa. Also a little bit tempting, get nearly 2-1 odds on a team that's going to start. Yes, it's rough to go on the road in second leg, and maybe the time, the ticking is maybe they turn into a pumpkin at midnight, this Buda Glimt side. But I think we've seen they beat and knocked out a really good Inter team who I've been very respecting of for a long time, hold them with a ticket to win Serie A so far this season. And I really like their setup against, I think, the weakest team left in this competition. Last but not least, PSG. They are half a goal favorites at home to Chelsea. Total in this one is 3, and it's just more to the under. PSG minus 135 to advance, Chelsea plus 115. I kind of wish that there was a little bit better of a draw for PSG, or a little bit harder of a draw is a better way to put it. I just don't really believe that PSG are that talented. I mean, barely got through a Monaco side with red cards in both legs. We're fortunate, I thought, to get a win in the first leg, and then Monaco were right there, if not for another red card in the second, taking multiple leads. I think that PSG side, I mean, they are so good. They got better. They added talent, but ultimately they have had a really kind of mediocre season, I think. They've really struggled to get past teams in Ligue 1 in France. Also not dominant in Champions League by any means. Maybe the bigger price in their head, but I don't think anyone was overlooking PSG last season when they were dominating. So to me, as a half goal favorite, that's certainly, I don't play favorites in the sport. As a longtime Patreon subscriber, patreon.com/real_G Warner for all my plays across all sports, including a big conference tournament, college basketball week coming up. But longtime subscriber Joe Dollar knows I don't really do favorites or overs, but in the sport especially. But for me, Chelsea look very interesting at half of goal underdogs. I would like to see it be a little bit bigger, and I wonder if we see some PSG money come and knock this one up. I don't know if that's the right way to phrase it, but there we did. That's what we said. So for, I guess we're all the way through the episode, and I guess it didn't take that long, but I'm trying to get this uploaded before I get the heck out of here. Things to plug. We did a college basketball conference tournament preview from the big games, or the biggest names, the Power 4 or 5, whatever we're calling it. I think we threw the Mountain West in there for Mountain West Ben. That's Big East Ben on Twitter. And of course, the Need for Seeds College Basketball Podcast. Check that out on this channel at the Real_G Warner on YouTube, Betting the Pitch, Apple Podcast, and on Spotify. We should be doing our nightly records probably once the NCAA tournament actually started, with some regional previews as well. Working on that schedule today, most likely. But thank you for coming in. Appreciate that quite a bit. Other things, we'll have What I Bet episodes coming out on pregame.com as well, in the Straight Out of Vegas AM feeds. So check that out. And of course, stick with us, patreon.com/real_G Warner. So from the Tuesday episode, my favorite bet was Newcastle, a pick'em at home to Barcelona. On Wednesday's Champions League, I did not nominate that yet, but I'm going to go with Real Madrid, a half a goal underdog at home to Man City. Well, it's time for the ultimate best bet, and we're sticking at the Bernabeu. We'll go Real Madrid, 1/2 a goal underdog at home to Manchester City. And we'll see you on a hopefully less abridged version of the Europa League episode coming out on Wednesday night.